Development, Tourism, and Planning work closely with the Tourism Advisory Council and many volunteers to promote and enhance tourism in Oswego County.
Okay.
James Weatherup, Chairman of the Oswego County Legislature, on behalf of the entire legislature, do hereby proclaim May 4th through the 10th, 2025 as National Travel and Tourism Week.
The kids here today, I think many of you know just how incredible the county you live in is, and one of the things that we do, and try to do every day, every week, every month, is bring as many people here to enjoy it. So, as you know, year-round, fun and amazing things to do in Oswego County. So I thank this amazing staff for all they do here, the partnership with our Tourism Advisory Council, and the whole legislature. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, I'll squish it a little bit for you. There you go. Sorry.
Thank you. At this time, we're going to have the Human Services Committee, Sarah Sunday and Barbara Dix. Please come forward. How you doing?
Hello, everyone. The Oswego County Legislature would like to recognize Barbara Dix, whereas Barbara, older citizens have enriched and continue to enrich the lives of those of other generations and have made important contributions to the nation, state, and county. Whereas nominated by the Office of the Aging to be represented at the New York State 2025 Older New York Day event, we recognize that Mrs. Barbara Dix has been a volunteer for more than 70 years. Whereas Mrs. Dix has volunteered at various organizations, including Camp Tululi, Sunday school teacher, the Oswego County Art Council, Heritage Foundation of Oswego County, Oswego County Freedom Trail Commission, Oswego County Tourism Advisory Council, Oswego County Office of the Aging Council, Central New York Architect Friends and Associates, Friends of Fort Ontario, the Association of Public Historians of the New York State, the American Red Cross, and founder of the Oswego County Genealogy Society. Whereas Ms. Dix, a lifelong resident of Oswego County, raised 4 children, is a grandmother to 13, grandmother to 11, great-grandmother to 11, and has been actively preserving and sharing history of Oswego County for over 47 years. Whereas Mrs. Dix has distinguished herself not only as a remarkable citizen through her enduring example of dedication, compassion, and enthusiasm for others and the inspiration to her community, and now therefore be it resolved, James Weatherup, Chairman of the Oswego County Legislators, has, on behalf of the entire legislature and the people of Oswego County, do hereby recognize Barbara Dix and commend her for the powerful example of citizenship she has lived in the setting of everyday life, and who has, by her example, made the Oswego County community a better place to live, and our oldest citizens and all of our families, for all of us. Thank you.
about things until I stood up here. I might call your attention to the lovely map that's on the wall. That was done by the Underground Railroad Association that we created to research the Underground Railroad here in Oswego County. And we had an artist do that map for us, and it's lovely if you get a chance to look at it. If you kids could maybe look at something. And I thank you so much. It's kind of wonderful to be recognized.
It's done a lot.
I just wanted to say I was very happy to recognize Barb. She's, as you heard with Red, she's had a very long career, standing career in the community, helping others, teaching others. Part of the Historical Society, she was a county historian. So she's a record of our history as well. And May is Older Americans Month. This year's theme is Flip the Script, and I think Barb is a great person to emulate that theme of Flip the Script. And I'm so happy that we're able to do it on Government Day, bringing youth and aging together, breaking that barrier, and just coming together multi-generational.
Oh, Herbie, yes.
Yeah, I know.
No, you're lying.
Yeah, sure.
It's good to meet you. It's good to meet you.
Thank you. If the Human Services Committee could remain up front, and we could have Lee Sullivan please come forward.
You do have to move over a little bit so you're not having to squat in front of them. Okay. Two photos. Sorry. Can you move over just a little bit? This way? Yeah, I just want to make sure everyone's faces are seen. Okay. Thanks. I'll take one more. Thank you.
All right, folks. The Oswego County Legislature is proclaiming May as National Foster Parent Appreciation Month. Whereas Oswego County recognizes the children and the youth of Oswego County are our most precious resource and hope for the future, and they deserve every opportunity for a safe and happy life. Whereas children and youth in foster care need meaningful connection to caring adults who become a supportive and lasting presence in their life. During any given month, approximately 150 Oswego County children and youth are placed in care of foster parents. Whereas across New York State, devoted foster parents make a great effort to change the life of children or youth in foster care by adding security, stability that can make a significant difference in their growth into adults. With the help of these individuals, many formerly abused and neglected children and teens unite safely with their parents, are cared for by their relatives, or adopted by loving families. Whereas, thanks to many advocates, children welfare professionals, elected officials in Oswego County, and whereas each month, or each May, National Foster Care Month provides an opportunity to shine light on the experience of children and youth in foster care system, raising awareness of the urgent need of these young people, and encouraging citizens from every walk of life to get involved as foster or adoptive parents, volunteers, mentors, employers, or members of the community with the hope of changing a young life. Now, therefore, James Weatherup, Chairman of the Oswego County Legislature, on behalf of the entire legislatures, do hereby proclaim May as National Foster Parent Appreciation Month, and urge all citizens to join the effort to raise awareness of thousands of children in foster care and consider making a powerful difference in the life of children. Very good.
It's midnight and the phone rings. A foster parent answers and says yes. An hour later, a caseworker arrives with 2 children, tired, dirty, and scared. They're welcomed with warmth, compassion, and love. They're given a warm bath, clean pajamas, a snack, a safe place to sleep, and then the real work begins. Because a home is not enough anymore, our foster parents are so much more. They know that the experiences that have impacted our kids have changed them. They know that it's not enough to tell a child they're safe, the child must feel safe, and that feeling is elusive. The trauma that is seeped into the lives and bodies of our children will continue to impact their development, their education, their relationships, and every aspect of their lives forever. Our foster parents must have infinite patience, unending commitment, and understanding that far surpasses the common knowledge of child rearing. They must always be prepared to change plans at the last minute, to adapt and accommodate a child in crisis, to lend their calm when a child cannot find their home. Our foster parents must love a child that they just met, unconditionally, and with full knowledge that that child can lead their lives again at any moment. They accept this responsibility with grace, humility, and a selfless love. In Oswego County, just since January, we have placed 32 children into the homes of local families, a safe place to rest while their own families work to heal. We've also finalized 9 adoptions just since January of children once placed with strangers who have now become their forever home. Our foster families are heroes to our children and to our community. And every time that phone rings and a foster parent says yes, we are so very grateful that they have chosen to answer the call.
Thank you.
Thank you. These next 3 proclamations will be in front of the Public Service, or the Public Safety Committee, so if they could come forward. The first proclamation is for National Correction Officer and Employees Week. So if I could have Corrective Sheriff's Office, could I have Philip Biardi also come forward? Good try. Tell them how to pronounce.
And then can we shift a little bit more this way? Yes.
Yeah, it's right in the middle. Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna take 2 photos. One more.
first full week of May, the 4th through the 10th, is recognized as National Correctional Officers and Employees Week 2025 because of President Ronald Reagan's proclamation commencing in 1984, honoring the work of correctional officers as peace officers and correctional personnel working in jails and courthouses nationwide, guarding, transporting, and supervising offenders in the facilities, the community, and preparing offenders for their return to their communities are critical to protecting public safety, while related corrections personnel prepare meals, laundry services, education, recreation, and related inmate care, and custody often personnel with demanding circumstances facing danger in their daily lives. And whereas the Oswego County Legislature wishes to acknowledge the difficult job it asks these officers and employees to perform, locked inside a facility for a large part of their day where they must securely, safely, and humanely keep those committed to the jail, respecting the rights and dignity of all the incarcerated individuals, including those who have been found guilty and those only awaiting adjudication. And whereas the Oswego County Legislature is desirous of recognizing the good work being done by the correctional officers and correctional personnel at the Oswego County Correctional Facility, now therefore, be it resolved that this legislature joins with the sheriff and recognizes the serving of our community, recognize the contribution made by the men and women who work in our county jail, protecting and serving our community 24/7 during this National Week, and thank them for their essential public service, and does further extend those good public servants our gratitude for jobs well done. Now therefore, James Weatherup, Chairman of the Oswego County Legislature, on behalf of the entire legislature, do hereby proclaim May 4th through the 10th, 2025, as National Correctional Officers and Employees Week. All right, officer, time to come up. Yeah. You're next.
Take 2 photos. Perfect. One more. Let's hold still so Kate can get
Okay. Whereas the Congress and President have designated May 15th as Peace Officer Memorial Day during National Police Week. May 11th through the 17th, honoring all law enforcement officers who have died in the line of duty, and recognizing that law enforcement plays an essential role in safeguarding the rights and freedoms of citizens, while members understand their duties, responsibilities, hazards, sacrifices, and duty to serve and safeguard life and property against violence and disorder, and that local law enforcement provides an essential public safety service. And whereas the vast majority of law enforcement officers are selfless public servants who accept as part of their professional being exposed to great danger in order to protect the life and property of others, with too often tragic results, as we have already witnessed this year. And whereas in this year, 2025, law enforcement and in all related public safety services, our men and women are serving a vital community role, protecting the citizens who they serve. Now be resolved that this legislature extends their appreciation to the men and women of local law enforcement and public safety related duties on this National Week of Observance, May 15th, where Public Law 103-322 directs flags at government buildings to be at half-staff in observance of this recognition. And be it further resolved that copies of this resolution be provided to the Sheriff's Office and the President of all local unions in the Sheriff's employ. Now, therefore, James Weatherup, Chairman of the Oswego County Legislature, on behalf of the entire legislature, do hereby proclaim May 11th through the 17th, 2025, as Peace Officer Memorial Day and National Police Week. One more, guys. No, we got.
Tristan.
Emergency Medical Services Week.
And, do we have any from EMS here? Yes, we do.
Oh, there you are, man. I didn't see you. Okay.
Taking 2 photos again. Thank you.
Emergency Medical Service Week. Whereas emergency medical services are a vital public service, and whereas the members of emergency medical services teams are ready to provide life-saving care to those in need 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And whereas access to quality emergency care dramatically improves the survival and recovery rate of those who experience sudden illness or injury. And whereas the emergency medical services system consists of first responders, emergency medical technicians, paramedics, emergency medical dispatchers, physicians, and EMS officers. And whereas the members of the emergency medical service team are the career volunteer engaged in many hours of specialized training and continuing education to enhance their life-saving skills. And whereas it is appropriate to recognize the value and the accomplishments of emergency medical service providers by designating Emergency Medical Service Week now. Therefore, James Weatherup, Chairman of the Oswego County Legislature, on behalf of the entire legislature and the people of Oswego County, do hereby proclaim the week of May 18th through the 24th, 2025 as Emergency Medical Service Week. Okay, we're good. That's it.
We're done.
Thank you. Any introduction of visitors? Now moving on now to public speakers on resolutions of the day. There are some, Mr. Chairman. Thank you. When you do come forward for our students and guests, we want to know exactly just which resolution that you're speaking to. Having said that, thank you, sir. Would Karen Oakes please come forward? And I see you're for resolution EP3 and FP6?
Yes.
Thank you. Podium, and you have 5 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Karen Oakes, and I'm a resident of District 4. I wish to make a comment today about 2 items on the agenda, specifically EP3 and FP6. In reviewing the agenda for today, which was posted just more than 24 hours ago, giving residents very little time to review the material and no time to request further information, I noted 2 items which I have questions about. I understand that you may not be able to provide answers to these questions today, but I would like to put them on the record nonetheless and ask for a response. First, in regards to EP3, could you please share with your constituents whether this transfer from fund balance is necessary because of recent federal cuts to the Digital Equity Act? My understanding is that New York State has granted $26 million to Oswego County to ensure that all residents have access to broadband internet, but these funds are derived from federal grants under the American Rescue Plan. I'm asking whether federal policy changes have required the county to make this expenditure of funds from unappropriated fund balance. Secondly, in regards to FP6, I'm again asking for clarification about the impact of federal funding cuts on local programs. Are the temporary positions being created here for Camp Hollis and Legends Fields necessary because of the administration's elimination of the AmeriCorps program? If so, I believe that county residents have a right to know about the ways that this substantial unexpected expense has been shifted to local taxpayers now that the federal government has ended this 30-plus year program, which has for many years benefited our communities and our residents in a host of ways. When the federal government makes cuts like this, it impacts all of us at the local, county, and state level, where we have far fewer people trying to make up the difference. With federal cuts looming to programs like SNAP, Section 8, and Medicaid, I think that it is time to be upfront with your constituents about the ways that these cuts may trickle down to local taxpayers, increasing the burden on us in ways that will be very difficult and painful to mitigate. Thank you.
Thank you. We don't normally, not to get into comments back and forth, but the answer to your first resolution is no, and the answer to your second one is yes. Having said that, would Mary Vanus please come forward?
Chairman, just answer the question. Chairman, just
Yeah,
answer
first,
the question.
excuse me, the first answer is no, second answer is yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, Mary Vanus, you have 5 minutes on EP1.
Okay, thank you very much. This resolution is to transfer ARPA funds within Workforce Development Project. Over the last many years, people have been trying to find out what happened with the ARPA funds that were allocated to the county for various uses to support businesses that were challenged during the pandemic. A lot of these monies were sat on for many years. I don't know if the ARPA funds are still available. Are they allocated in this budget? Has the Trump administration deleted these funds? And I also want the legislators to think about the last administration, the Biden administration, when these ARPA funds were allocated to support all of our local governments and our businesses to have an economic recovery. Now, President Trump has been in office for 5 months. Have we seen any programs that are allocated for local government? No. All we've heard about are tariffs and cuts to Medicare, Medicaid, and to various programs that are going to impact all of your constituents. When Medicaid and Medicare are cut, we're going to have closing nursing homes, closing hospitals, and that's going to impact us across the board in this country. I just wanted to have you think about the difference between the beginning of the Biden administration, when President Biden was really trying to help everyone across the board, and the beginning of this administration, where we see President Trump trying to help himself to so many programs and profiteering on the backs of the taxpayers of this country. I hope that we still have this ARPA money to help with the training of people for Micron. But our president is in Saudi Arabia. Is he going to be helping our young people to find jobs in the future? Or is he going to be bringing in Saudi people to fill those jobs? It seems to me that we have a very much a constitutional crisis on our hands, and I hope that we can do something with this particular administration so that we will be able to carry out our government into the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Regarding the first speaker at FP6, it's, I omitted the part. Yes, it was affected, but our notification that AmeriCorps was cut was from New York State, not the Fed, just to make that clear. But we're not going to go back and forth on that. At this point, in our county government, it's 365 days, 52 weeks, there are things that happen occasionally that do not fit exactly into the monthly time schedule. I say that for the guests and the students. So occasionally, we try to keep it at a minimum, but occasionally, we have to bring resolutions forward rather quickly, and that's where we are at today. Legislator Martinez.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I make a motion to waive the rules for GC 5, GC 6, GC 7, EP 8, IT 5, and FP 7 only.
Thank you.
Second.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 19 in favor, 1 opposed, and 5 excused.
All right, and quite often, these are later on in the meeting, but we have a number of students that were here. We'd like them to see that process, and also, we have some legislators that have some personal issues that they may have to leave early for, so we wanted the students to see that. So having said that, we could move to resolution GC 5 by Legislator Hall.
Chairman, I offer the resolution for its adoption.
Would the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution finding and determining that the proposed Southern Oswego County Regional Interceptor Sewer Project is a Type 1 action under SECR and will not have a significant adverse impact on the environment.
Yes, so we open the lobby, and it's part of the overall that resolution. Legislator Professor.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 20 in favor.
Thank you. Resolution GC 6 by Legislator Hall.
Mr. Chairman, I offer the resolution for its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing the execution of a purchase agreement with Mark Knopp and Joy Knopp concerning the purchase of property commonly known as 35 Elk Camp Road in the town of Oswego.
Yes, this is a property by Mark, but not before now. The town of Oswego, and we're going to purchase it for $475,000.
Thank you. Any discussion? Legislator Castillo.
I know that you guys just brought this, walked this in, and, we don't have time to talk about it, and you guys don't get to see it. But, this goes right back to, the conversation that the one lady was having about being cut. And we don't know where the cuts are gonna come from, and we don't know what we're gonna do about it, and how we're gonna cover it. And what happens is, when they cut the state funds from the federal government, those services don't get cut. Because it's our job and our duty to supply those services to the taxpayers. But the cost of those services fall on the taxpayers of Oswego County. So therefore, this resolution, Mr. Chairman, I am going to be voting against, because you're taking another piece of property off the tax rolls, which again means that somebody else is going to have to come up with the taxes that that property paid. Yeah, it's going to be split a long way, but still, it's money. It's got to come out of all of us, and I don't believe in taking things off the tax rolls. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Any other discussion?
One.
Legislator Gilson.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Since I've been in the legislature, I've been proud that we've been able to reduce the tax rate in Oswego County each and every year. And we've reinforced our commitment to the youth each and every year. And this is another example of us investing in our youth going forward. So I'll stand behind this resolution very firmly.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Legislator Castillo.
I heard that argument again and again, that we've lowered the tax rate. And if you look, I've been in the legislature for been 12 years now, but only 10. And when the tax rate started going down is when we started raising the assessed value of the county. And yes, some people's taxes may have gone down if they got the generic rate. But most people, I know that myself, I know the chairman said his went down. My county taxes went up. And why? Because the county is worth more money now. When the county's worth more money, now it's gonna lower the tax rate. But it means we've got to pay more because our houses are worth more. And it's still not favorable.
Any other discussion? Legislator Twist.
Yeah, I would just like to comment that the towns do the assessing. The county has no role in determining assessed valuations.
Thank you. Legislator Twist.
Yeah, same point I was going to make. County does not assess property.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Legislator Shaw.
Mr. Chairman, yes, the towns assess, but the value has more than tripled across the county. So that point certainly cannot be ignored. It's an enormous difference. It was by no magic on our part.
All right, thank you. So for clarity, now the discussion's over, for clarity, just for the students and perhaps some guests, this is a property next to our Camp Hollis, which is over here, just a few short miles from here. It's right actually on Lake Ontario. So this is why a number of legislators think it's important. This is property that's right next door to it. So that's our impetus. Any further discussion? Legislator Sampson.
I just wanted to say that as a realtor, I would say that property values have increased, but they have not tripled. And it seems like last meeting, Mr. Legislator Castillo was sticking up for children wanting to play free baseball, but now that we have an opportunity to expand Camp Hollis, which will benefit many, many youth, he's against it.
All right, thank you. All right, having said that, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 17 in favor, 3 opposed, and 5 excused.
Thank you. Moving to resolution EP 8 by legislator Sampson. My bad. My bad. I messed up for the kids' twice.
Good job, Jim.
All right, resolution GC7 by legislator Holmes. Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution requesting New York State Liquor Authority take actions to review and remove restriction on hours of sale for off-premises consumption licenses in Oswego County.
This is where the New York State Liquor Authority, stores will be permitted to make sales between 8 a.m. and 12 a.m. midnight every day of the week except for Sunday.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 19 in favor, 1 opposed, and 5 excused.
Thank you. Now to resolution EP 8 by legislator Sampson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have the following resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution relative to a home rule request amendment to New York State Tax Law 1202-8, occupancy tax.
Yes, this is a home rule request to the New York State Senate and Assembly, showing support to amendments to Article 8143 and S7867 regarding occupancy tax.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 19 in favor, 1 opposed, and 5 excused.
Thank you. Moving to resolution IT 5 by legislator Walpole.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Now for the following resolution, urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution establishing capital project number 0625, not property acquisition, Camp Hollis.
As we're all aware, that's the property that we were just discussing next to Camp Hollis.
Thank you. Again, for the students and the guests, we voted to buy the property. Now this is a motion to actually figure out where we're going to get the money, basically. So, any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 17 in favor, 3 opposed, and 5 excused.
Thank you. Moving to resolution FP7 by legislator Martino.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I offer this resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution relative to a home rule request, extension of special additional rate of sales tax.
This is a resolution that's done every 2 years. That 1 extra % that we get with this resolution is carried by our assembly. equates to about $15 million a year in funds that come in that are distributed amongst our towns and villages.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 19 in favor, 1 opposed, and 5 excused.
Thank you. Moving back then to reports of county officials. Any reports of standing committees?
Mr. Chairman, I'd certainly like to state that we have a facility that's going to go over under rehab tomorrow, or cleanup, and it's our park out on the lake, the Independence Trail of Oswego County. There's a big group coming in, Friends of Roseland Gifford Zoo, partner with the Oswego County Youth Bureau, city BOCES to clean up the trails and shore them up, make sure they're in good shape, so that people can enjoy the walk through the woods out there. And it's a great spot to go and do. If people haven't done it, they should take a peek, or even if they want to volunteer, they're certainly more than welcome to come out and help.
Thank you. Any reports of special committees? Thank you. Moving on now, the resolutions, government courts, and consumer affairs. Resolution GC1 by Legislator Holmes.
Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution for its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing 2025 Oswego County tax property auction.
Yes, this will be going out in May 23, 25, so please, 14, 25. This will have to be amended.
Thank you. Any discussion? Wait, no. Well, we do need to amend this.
He said it,
Oh, okay.
Legislator Holstead offered the amendment.
Sorry, you don't. Do you have the amendment?
Yeah, Legislator Holst offered the amendment that's to reflect the dates.
My bad, I was talking with my student.
That's all right, to reflect the dates.
If I was still in school, I'd be getting detention. Okay.
So he offered it, I'll second it.
All right, thank you. Any discussion on the amendment? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 20 in favor, 5 excused.
Thank you. Back to the resolution as amended by Legislator Holmes. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 20 in favor, 5 excused.
Thank you. Resolution GC2 by Legislator Holmes.
Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution for its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing the purchase and acquisition of certain real property located at 185 East Seneca Street, the city of Oswego.
Yes, this is for the purchase of that property, would be $450,000, raised in county funds, and operation of Oswego County, April 1st, 2025. It's $50,000, like which purchase price.
Thank you. Any discussion? Legislator Shaw.
Mr. Chairman, I have concerns that we're acquiring another aging building, 20,000 square feet, is my understanding, bad parking, a drainage problem. And I just feel at the point we are right now, we need to be more nimble. We need to tighten our belts. I just don't feel or see the urgency. We paid rent for how many years, Bill?
Precedes me, 20, 22 years. But we didn't pay rent. There was a loan that they owed us that we drew down on.
That's still paying.
We really didn't start paying cash to them until about 6 or 7 years ago.
But the loan wasn't for free, so we really did pay in essence. And I just feel it's a complicated dinosaur building, and I fear what lays ahead, similar to what we've experienced at Bunner Street. I just simply can't support it, and it concerns me that we would want to acquire it.
Thank you. Legislator Castillo.
Mr. Chairman, I'm not going to go along with Paul, and we've covered a lot of my arguments already, but we're looking to take another piece of property. I know it's not on a tax roll now, but I did overhear a legislators say if I was offered that piece of property, I'd buy it in a minute, which would put it on the tax rolls. And if somebody's gonna offer you something at half price, you know that there's gotta be something wrong with it. And in the committee meeting, we found out that there's 2 bathrooms, but only one of them is causing a problem possibly. So just don't use that bathroom. So that's like, okay, I'm gonna sell you a car at half price, but you can't use the back seat because the back seat's bad. Right? I'm just saying that you're taking money, $450,000, buy a piece of property that's probably gonna cost us somewhere around $1 million. No, I did hear, and somebody's probably gonna stand up and say, well, this is, reimbursable to us at 90% from DOT. Still, that's tax money. That's what I heard. Now, I don't know that's perfected, it wasn't brought up in the committee, I don't believe. But either way you look at it, we're taking on something that I won't be here when you vote on it next year. But you will be voting to say, okay, well, we need to extend, we need to increase this capital project. Why? Well, we ran into this, we didn't know about that. Well, you know what? Let somebody else buy it. Put it on the tax rolls. We'll pay taxes on it. We'll pay rent. What do we pay for rent, Bill? A year?
About
Year.
34,000.
34,000. 34,000 means that we could go 10, 20 years, maybe 30 years before we hit $1 million, which is going to cost us. A good businessman will say, that's what I want to do. Because if there's issues with the property, the owner has to fix it, not the renter. Now, I have been in favor of mobility management since at first we took it over. But I'm looking now at this is what we're going to want this for. So I'm looking and I asked how many buses we had. I forget how many Mr. Stahl told me we had. But we only have 3 employees. But I know the City of Oswego School District has 60 buses, 70 employees, and they only have a room 25 by 58. That's 1,450 square feet. And we're going to buy a piece of property that's going to be, how big is it, Phil?
I don't recall the square footage.
20,000 square feet, just under 20,000.
20,000 square feet. Why do we need such a big building? Rent the space. Don't buy it. Let somebody else take care of the problem. If it sounds too good, it more than likely is too good. You're buying a money pit. We've taken other things off we took the super hanger off the tax rolls. We haven't gotten paid back on that yet. We're going to take a house out by Camp Hollis. All the money we're spending there, but we wouldn't spend $13,000 to keep the kids into a softball camp. Thank you very much. I'll be voting no on this.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I would like to say for the record that it's not just mobility management that we're using this building. There are other entities throughout the county that have professed interest in using some of the rooms and what have you within that building. So it's not just for mobility management. Yes, we are getting funding from mobility management on the building, and I do believe that there's also some concessions that were made with the owner of the building now to help with the any issues that are on board with it as of this moment.
Thank you. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 19 in favor, or excuse me, 18 in favor, 2 opposed, and 5 excused.
Thank you. This next resolution will be by Chairman in Training Kraus.
Resolution TC3 by Legislator Holst.
Chairman, on this resolution,
establishing capital project number 0525, acquisition of Seneca Street office.
This is exactly a capital project, 0525, $750,000 for the acquisition of those properties.
Thank you. Again, for the guests and the students, this is the mechanism used to acquire money for it, for what we have just offered to buy. So having said that, any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Frank, did you want opposition to that one?
Which one? Yes, you got it, I got it.
You know, you're welcome back next year, too.
You know I'll be back. I know you lie like that, Jeff.
Mr. Chairman, that's 18 in favor, 2 opposed, and 5 excused.
Thank you.
There isn't even laugh now.
Resolution GC4 by legislator Volz.
Mr. Chairman, on this resolution, urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Mr. Chairman, I just want to correct the record. That was 17 in favor, 2 opposed, and 6 excused.
Thank you. Resolution GC4.
GC4, resolution approving real property tax law 412-A, agreement terms concerning an agreement between 9 Mile Point Nuclear Station LLC and the County of Oswego Industrial Development.
Yes, with this agreement, received the town of Schuyler with 5%, Oswego City School District with 64.75%, County of Oswego with 30.25%, and our share is $10,133,750 per year for the next 4 years.
Thank you. Any discussion? Legislator McKee. Students got to catch a buck.
Yeah, I know they do, but I want them to see, there's rules and regulations that have to be followed. I'm still going to follow the rules and regulations of the negotiation. But it was not a negotiation, and that's why I will not be voting in favor of it. Okay? I don't like people coming and telling me that we're going to negotiate with you when it's take it or leave it. And I don't like that. I will not be voting in favor of this. It was the same way with all entities involved of it. I can't believe that we just backed down from it. So I will not be in favor of this. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 18 in favor, 1 opposed, 6 excused.
17.
Marie did it.
No, 18.
18, Marie voted.
18-1.
Okay, I can count.
I'm the only upstart.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Reed, I'm sorry.
All right, thank you. Moving to the Public Safety Committee.
Resolution PS1 by legislator Greco.
Legislator Greco, resolution PS1.
Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution and I recommend its approval.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing budgetary modification fire coordinator cost to purchase porta count machine.
Okay, so this is a machine that does a fit for the mask, the oxygen mask for the fire department. Apparently, the company that provides this service has gone out of business, and our local fire departments don't have anybody to volunteer. So the fire coordinator has recommended purchasing this product so that we can service all our volunteer departments that we no longer get the service privately.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Thank you. In the interest of showing the students, I ask for a roll call vote.
Michael Yurden's excused. Herbert Yurden.
Yes.
Edward Gilson.
Yes.
David Holmes.
Yes.
Roy Reedhill's excused. John Martino.
Aye.
Frank Lombardo.
Yes.
Paul House.
Yes.
James Weatherup.
Yes.
Mary Ellen Chesborough excused. Linda Lockwood.
Yes.
Richard Klein.
Yes.
Patrick Twist.
Yes.
Stephen Walpole.
Yes.
Kevin Hill.
Yes.
James Scanlon is excused. Charles Berger.
Yes.
Robert Wilmot's excused. Marie Schaff.
Yes.
Paul Connolly.
Yes.
Noel Salmon.
Yes.
James Karasik's excused. Michael Soloway.
Yes.
Mark Greco.
Yes.
Frank Castilia.
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, that's 19 in favor and 6 excused.
Thank you. Resolution PS2 by legislator Greco.
Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution, recommend its approval.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing the Oswego County Emergency Management Office to accept funding from the Walmart Spark Good local grant.
This is in the amount of $750. We've got this before, they want to put it towards the drug program.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 19 in favor and 6 excused.
Thank you. I should have added after that last one, sometimes we do have a roll call vote when you want to make sure that your vote is heard. But typically, we do the ayes and the nays for expediency. Having said that, resolution PS3, legislator Greco.
Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution, recommend its approval.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing budgetary modification, Sheriff's Office transfer from Insurance Recovery Treasurer's Office to Automotive Supplies and Repair Road Division.
This is in the amount of a little over $4,000. I'd like to put it back into the city.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 19 in favor, 0 opposed, and 6 excused.
Thank you. There's no Human Services Committee resolutions today, so we'll move to Economic Development and Planning Committee, Resolution EP1 by legislator Samuels.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I offer the following resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing budget modification to transfer ARPA funds within workforce development budget to support manufacturing automation training.
Yes, this resolution will help, if passed, will help City BOCES to launch a new summer program that will support manufacturing and automation training in the new robotics lab. It's a 6-week course, and it's giving high school students opportunities to interview with potential employers the last week of the course. They're aiming at the recent high school graduates also that have not solidified employment opportunities or educational plans yet. And the money will come out of ARPA funds from the workforce development budget.
Thank you. Any discussion? Legislator Gilson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And for the public, I'd just like to know that all of the ARPA funds that were appropriated by the federal government to the county of Oswego, none have been rescinded, and all have been allocated for programs.
Thank you. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 19 in favor, 0 opposed, and 6 excused.
Thank you. Resolution EP2 by legislator Samuels.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I offer the following resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution fixing time and place for public hearing relative to proposed County of Oswego local law number 2 of the year 2025, establishing a registration system for short-term rental units in and for the County of Oswego.
Just as he said, this resolution is just fixing a time and place for a public hearing, so we can hear from constituents how they feel about this at the June meeting.
Thank you.
Article 2 needs to be amended to include the local law number in the paragraph line.
Okay, so we're going to need an amendment to cover what?
To amend Article 2 of the proposed local law to just recite that it's local law number 2 of the year 2025. Presently, it's a blank. As well as on top of the local law.
I make a motion that
We have a motion, multiple seconds. So it's to the amendment to enter the date. Any discussion?
The number.
And the date and the number. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Back then to the original resolution as amended. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 19 in favor, 0 opposed, and 6 excused.
Thank you. And for the students, I would offer that this public hearing is an opportunity for the public to come in and speak pro and con against a potential local law. So this particular resolution just sets the date and time for that hearing, which we've now done. Thank you. Resolution EP3 by legislator Samuels.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I offer the following resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution transferring funds from unappropriated fund balance to capital project number 0524, broadband infrastructure.
So what this is it's a resolution that's going to allow the broadband infrastructure project to get boots on the ground and get moving. It will result in a few expenses, and this resolution will transfer funds from unappropriated fund balance to pay for the short-term expenses until the money gets reimbursed by the Connect All grant. We do plan on receiving it. Basically, it's to bridge the gap between now and when this grant funding will be dispersed. Time is of the essence with ARPA funds, as Legislator Gilson said, because they have to be spent by December, end of year 2026. This balance transfer is in the amount of $250,000 and will ensure that we get the project as soon as possible started, and it will help the underserved and people who don't even have broadband right now.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 19 in favor, 0 opposed, and 6 excused.
Thank you. Moving to resolution EP4 by Legislator Samuels.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I offer the next resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing the chairman of the legislature is empowered to act on behalf of Oswego County as the authorized official.
So what this is we are applying for a grant in the county, the Northern Border Regional Commission grant, in the amount of $200,000. This grant can only be used for transportation, for education, or to employment. If successful, the county will supply $50,000, which will be reimbursed through DOH funds. These grants obviously need to have an authorized individual to act on behalf of Oswego County, and we are hoping to appoint the chairman, James Weatherup, to be the authorized official.
Thank you. Any discussion? All right, just for clarity, this is in government, this is for the students and the guests. I don't necessarily act all on my own. The power I get, I receive from the other legislators. So they've empowered me basically just to sign the paper because you don't want to sign it 25 times. So all they're really doing is having one guy sign. So having said that, any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 19 in favor, 0 opposed, and 6 excused.
Thank you, and Paul Forestier has given me the hook.
Yes, I am. Excuse me, Mr. Chairman. Students, parents are here to pick you up, so if you could grab your belongings and come with us.
Yeah, we'll make sure we got them all when they come back.
For good? So we're back to 18.
Still got a core, don't worry.
We got 18. Take our time. All right, thank you. I think we're back to the strength that we have here. Resolution EP5 by Legislator Samuelson.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I offer the following resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution awarding professional service contract RFP 25-WFP-001 one-stop operator.
Yes, this resolution is awarding the one-stop operator contract to Action Collaboration. This is a federal requirement that we have this position, and the operator ensures collaboration between 4 other workforce development boards and has been very helpful in sharing best practices from the other boards, and the cost is $5,000, paid for by Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Funds.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 18 in favor, 0 opposed, and 7 excused.
Thank you. Resolution EP6 by Legislator Samuelson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I offer the resolution and urge its adoption.
This will also need to be amended.
Yes, thank you for the reminder. We do need an amendment
Right.
regarding one of the names and also staggering term limits.
All right, so it does need to be amended due to the names, and Administrator Church is going to read those off.
Yes, through beginner's luck, our new clerk discovered that there may be different versions some of you have in your packets, so we want to ensure that the amendment is correct. We'd like an amendment to state the last 2 names on the list are Brad Trudell and Robert Kutel. In the staggered term.
I'll second the amendment.
So seconded on the amendment. Any discussion as to the amendment? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, it's 18 in favor, 0 opposed, and 7 excused.
Thank you. Back to the original resolution as amended. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Mr. Chairman, that's 18 in favor, 0 opposed, and 7 excused.
Thank you. Resolution EP7 by Legislator Samuelson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I offer this resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution fixing time and place for a public hearing relative to the request of landowner inclusion within the existing certified agricultural district pursuant to the New York State Agricultural Markets Law, Section 303-B as amended.
Yes, this resolution will set a time and place simply for a public meeting to be held at our June legislative meeting to accept new landowners into the Oswego County Agricultural District. The Farmland Protection Board met last week and accepted 32 parcels totaling 1,522 acres in Oswego County for inclusion. Please note, this does not involve any tax exemptions, but it grants farmers the right to farm as long as they follow accepted practices.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 18 in favor, 0 opposed, 7 excused.
Thank you. Moving to the Health Committee, Resolution HE1 by Legislator Howe.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution accepting Bolton grant.
Okay, this Bolton grant is for the largest, for our dimension for the infrastructure for the health department.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 18 in favor, 0 opposed, and 7 excused.
Thank you. Resolution HE2 by Legislator Howe.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution and urge its adoption. I also have to, a formula that has to be amended on the floor.
Thank you. Everybody has the amendment? So again, any discussion on the amendment?
I'll second.
Well, we got to do a second. Thank you. Any discussion on the amendment? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Back to the original resolution as amended. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 18 in favor, 0 opposed, and 7 excused.
Thank you. Moving to the Infrastructure Facilities Technology Committee, Resolution IT1 by Legislator Twist.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to introduce this resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution approving the execution of an agreement with Niagara Mohawk Power Corporation, DBA National Grid Hill Transmission Line, Marshall Allen Yard, 223, County Route 51A.
If they're going to be using some of our property to, as a storage facility, not even a storage facility, but staging area, there we go, that's the word I was looking for. And this just gives them permission to do that and we get a little bit of money on the RF.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 18 in favor, 0 opposed, and 7 excused.
Thank you. Moving to Resolution IT2 by Legislator Twist.
Introduce resolution, urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing budgetary modification, Department of Solid Waste Landfill and Transfer Stations, Highway and Street Equipment account, which repairs, maintenance, and equipment account.
Just move the money. The pay that's $75,000.
Thank you. Any discussion?
Now, no, Mr. Chairman, this comes out of their fund balance, not the general fund balance.
Correct.
So it comes out of solid waste fund balance.
Is that a statement or an amendment?
It's a statement.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 18 in favor, 0 opposed, and 7 excused.
Thank you. Resolution IT3 by Legislator Twist.
Introduce this resolution, urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing budgetary modification, Department of Solid Waste establishing and funding a capital project, Bristol Hill inbound scale replacement, 0425, from the unappropriated fund balance.
So it's my understanding that this needs to be amended from 0452 to 0324, or maybe it's was already amended?
The amendment is the replacement budget modification form, which you all should have.
All right, so make a motion to amend.
Thank you. We have a second? Second. Any discussion on the amendment? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, 18 in favor, 0 opposed, 7 excused.
Thank you. Back to the original resolution as amended. Any discussion? Legislator Steve.
I just want to double down with the majority leader said this is coming out of the unappropriated fund balance, which is with, landfill, correct? It's not coming out of the general fund. Just so everybody understands that. I know that I would be worried about it. Thank you very much. We do a good job taking some money out there.
Thank you. Legislator Klein.
Yeah, so I just want to emphasize the fact, this piece of equipment, the scale, has been down for quite a while, and it's over 40 years old, so it doesn't owe us a dime. It's done a lot of work, and it's money well spent.
Thank you. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Chairman, that's 18 in favor, 0 opposed, and 7 excused.
Thank you. Resolution IT4 by legislator Twist.
Introduce this resolution, urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing expenditure from capital reserve number 21, buildings renovations to capital project number C0325, public part of roof replacement.
Exactly as it reads, roof needs to be repaired.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Chairman, that's 18 in favor, 0 opposed, and 7 excused.
Thank you. Moving to the Finance Personnel Committee, Resolution FP1 by legislator Martino the Elder.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I offer this resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution pursuant to Section 206 of County Law changing legislative office building hours from June, July, and August.
This is a standard resolution. We do this every year to go to summer hours.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 18 in favor, 0 opposed, and 7 excused.
Thank you. Resolution FP2 by legislator Martino.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I offer this resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution deleting one temporary position in the Human Resources Department.
This is due to the fact that you don't need the position any longer. It's just being terminated.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 18 in favor, 0 opposed, 7 excused.
Thank you. Resolution FP3 by legislator Martino.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I offer this resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution of plan sponsor extending contract for the deferred compensation plan for the County of Oswego.
This is a resolution that we re-up on, we renew every approximate 5 years. This is just to continue with the company who does the contracting for the deferred compensation.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Chairman, that's 18 in favor, 0 opposed, and 7 excused.
Thank you. Resolution FP4 by legislator Martino.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I offer this resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution creating one position in the Treasurer's Office.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This goes along in lines with the succession plan for possible retirees down the road. Plus, the treasurer himself has taken on a few more different tasks where they need some more auditors in the office.
Thank you. Any discussion? Legislator Castillo.
I wasn't at that committee, but what is the length of time before the retirement versus disappointment?
It's not in direct result of anybody retiring. It is in a plan thereof in case. Plus, it also is a needed position because the treasurer is now taking on some more tasks that have auditing. He needs more auditing capabilities. A person to do so.
Thank you. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Chairman, that's 17 in favor, 1 opposed, and 7 excused.
Thank you. I would note that the treasurer did just win a relatively prestigious award. Congratulations, Ms. Carter.
Oh, yes.
Finance Officer of the Year.
Finance Officer of the Year.
Resolution FP5 by legislator Martino.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I offer this resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing budgetary modification, buildings and grounds, temporary electric service, former Addis ethanol plant facility.
As we know that this is a core auction and the power was best to be switched over into our name, so, and I say our as the county, so as the building is being shown, there would be power to, and lights for everybody to see what they're looking at. Bottom line, we gotta have power there.
Thank you. Any discussion?
Mr. Chairman, and I would also add to that, to protect the property from flooding, because it's, much of the building is underground, it's susceptible to that.
Correct. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 18 in favor, 0 opposed, and 7 excused.
Thank you. Resolution FP6 by legislator Martino the Younger. Last shot.
Thank you, Mr.
Martino
Chairman.
Villalba.
I offer this resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing the creation of part-time temporary lines, Camp Alice, Camp Irving, and Legends Fields, Youth Bureau, Parks and Recreation.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is to keep the programs running between the camps and Legends Field. This would also help with any of the pre-booked engagements that have been already booked for any of these properties to keep those programs going.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 18 in favor, 0 opposed, and 7 excused.
Thank you. Moving to any unfinished business. We've already waived the rules for that one. Any miscellaneous business? Legislator Castillo.
Mr. Chairman, with the public comment period coming up immediately after we adjourn, I would like to thank everyone that does, all the legislators that remain to listen to the speakers. Greatly appreciated. Thank you very much, legislators.
Thank you. Looking for the appropriate motion? Stand adjourned. Legislator Martino.
Yes,
Any
sir.
further comments?
There are.
Thank you. At this time, I would call Paul McKinney. Thank you, sir. You have 5 minutes.
Good afternoon. My name is Paul McKinney, and I'm here this afternoon representing a group called Indivisible Oswego County. And I want to take a minute to thank both Marie and Frank for taking the time to come and listen. Recently, when we had our town hall meeting, we were very fortunate to have over 380 residents attend, most of whom are residents of Oswego County, but we did have a few folks come in from Onondaga County, Lynn County, and Cuyahoga County. It was a really upbeat, positive experience. Folks were able to come and ask questions and share some of their thoughts. We had 21 folks who spoke in reference to some of their concerns and questions that they had. And before I forget, I just wanted to let Jim, you and the council know that we will be having our second town hall meeting next month, July 14th for Flag Day. So we will be inviting you all to attend that. And one of the things that we want to do is to we are inviting a number of the service organizations here in the county to share some of their concerns, questions that they have with all of the cuts that are occurring and how that's going to impact on the residents of Oswego County. I do want to take a couple minutes, though, to correct a few things that happened around our town hall. We had 2 articles in the newspaper. One was written by Terry that described Indivisible Oswego County as this far left radical organization that was being funded by George Soros. Now, probably most of the people in Oswego County don't even know who George Soros is, but I just wanted to clear that up, that while we are an affiliate of the national organization, we aren't under any guidelines or restrictions or whatever. We are a local, nonpartisan, grassroots organization, and we do not, nor have we, nor will we ever accept any outside money from George Soros. So I would appreciate it, just out of due respect, that from now on, if you want to talk about Indivisible, let's talk about what is in fact the truth. The other article that appeared was from the local Republican Party, and if it wasn't kind of embarrassing or sad, one would laugh. They described the people who go to the bridge on Saturdays and rally as some outside, bust-in, radical organization of people who are paid. Again, there's nothing further from the truth. If any of you would bother to come down and join in talk with the folks, they probably would ask you when they were going to get their check. So moving forward, I think for us, we want folks to know that we are a very civil, proactive group that invites anybody to come and join in a meeting, to learn, to ask, and to talk. Last time I was here, I took a little time to talk to you about being a parent. And unfortunately, my son was going to be here today, but he was diagnosed with COVID. Sean's a veteran of the U.S. Air Force, and he's scared. He gets letters from the vets about all of the things that might happen. And even though he's an adult, I think if you're a parent or a grandparent, you can't help but see that grown-up person being little every once in a while when they walk in the door. Since I spoke last time, some very disturbing activities have increased with the Border Patrol and ICE. I have here 6 very clear, verified, documented incidences of folks, legal citizens, being harassed in and around Fulton, my hometown. And I don't have time to go through those, but I'd be happy to share those with any of you that after the meeting, if you'd like to, or after this time, if you'd like to know that. Can I take a few more seconds?
You can wrap it up.
Thanks. Also, just to be aware that on campus, there are a number of foreign students who are so frightened that they go to class and they go to their dorm. And I was told recently by one of the professors there that a number of them aren't even going to return to their course of study because of that. So we need to do something. We can't just talk. I think it was wonderful that during the last meeting, I'm going to finish, Jim.
I'm not, but in the interest of fairness,
yeah, but I'm
I
going to
understand,
finish.
sir, we're going to let you finish, but could you wrap it up?
Thank you, okay. We need to do something, and we need to do something quick, because innocent adults, men and women, and children are being hurt. The last time at the meeting, I thought it was wonderful. You all gave this wonderful accolade to a recent child advocacy group here in Oswego. But those are just words. We need to follow that up with action. So I have here for you, Jim, a letter and a number of petitions, and they're asking that the Oswego County Legislature adopt a no collusion resolution prohibiting the Oswego County Sheriff's Department and Probation Department from assisting officials from Border Patrol and ICE with immigration enforcement activities. The law is very clear. No one's disputing that. Their mandates are very clear. But because President Trump has given them free license, they are far, far overstepping their legal mandates, and they're hurting people. So if we really want to do something as a county legislature, let's pull up our pants, a big boy pants, a big girl pants, and let's do something. This is one way of doing that, Jim, and I appreciate you giving me the extra time. Thank you.
Weisenberger come forward, please. And again, I stress the 5 minutes in the interest of fairness for all, not to one another. Thank you.
Thank you all, and I'm glad that you're staying for our public comments. If our students were still here, I would say to them that this public comment is an exercise in First Amendment rights. We may differ in opinions, but we're still allowed to express those differing opinions, and that's what the purpose of the public comment is. Today I want to speak with you about the elimination of the entire U.S. Geological Survey Biological Research Program especially the one here in Oswego. The biological research program, the purpose is to study invasive species, contaminants in the water, and to protect endangered species. Our research station does population studies on fish that prey on trout and salmon. They collect data in Lake Ontario that is used to form decisions on stocking salmon and trout. The current administration in Washington wants to close all stations, especially the one that I'm concerned about is the one here. By closing that station, you're impacting waterfront development. A lot of money has been put into developing downtown Oswego, and it's beautiful, and it draws a lot of tourism. Closing of that station harms our environment because we're not studying invasive species anymore. It presents a danger to Lake Ontario's world-class fishing industry. Somebody earlier in one of the proclamations cited that Oswego County took in $228 million in tourism spent in 2023. That's a lot of money. I had to laugh because it was sort of hypocritical that today is, you had a proclamation for Travel and Tourism Week, yet at the same time, you're remaining silent on the closing of the Oswego Biological Research Station. On the one hand, you're promoting tourism, while at the same time, you're closing the biological station that keeps tourism healthy and strong. So I live in Legislative District 3, Richland 1 through 4, on the eastern end of Lake Ontario. For those of you who don't know what that is, it's actually Pulaski. Pulaski is famous for being the salmon capital of New York State, and we depend on tourism. Visitors spend a substantial amount of money on lodging, food, charter boat captains, all sorts of things. During fishing season in the village of Pulaski, downtown is full of campers and fishing boats on trailers. Tops grocery store, the parking lot is jammed, and you can't even find parking. Local residents, we avoid going downtown on weekends because of the congestion, but we know it's worth it because what it brings to the economy. Closing the biological research station causes a chain reaction. Tourism in the county will decrease. In Pulaski alone, this will impact businesses. It'll impact charter businesses, campgrounds. Fewer tourists means small businesses will fail. People earning less money will cut back on spending in the community on goods and services. It'll affect all of us. Tops Market will have to increase prices to make up for the tourists that don't come and spend money. Small businesses will close. It's only a matter of time until the economy in Pulaski and Oswego falls apart. Nobody is listening. Assemblyman Mark Barkley had no comment when asked about the closure of the Oswego station. Senator Walczak had no comment. Claudia Tenney never has a comment. And Chairman Weatherup, you too had no comment when approached by reporters. None of you is brave enough to stand up to them. You're allowing the administration to destroy our local economy, and we are consistently one of the counties in New York State with the most people living in poverty. Two things I'd ask of you. I'd urge you to pull out your cell phones, call Claudia Tenney, and tell her to vote no on eliminating the USGS Biological Research Program. And two, pass a resolution against the closing of the Oswego station. Thank you.
Thank you. And we're getting closer to the 5-minute part. That's cool. Mary Horan. Thank you. You have 5 minutes.
Yes, I don't think I'll take 5 minutes.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Mary Horan. I moved to Oswego in 2002. I chose to live in Oswego, and I still do. My husband and I purchased a home here At that time, we still are homeowners. Our children graduated from Oswego schools, and I wish the kids were still here to say this. I was so proud that every one of those kids is involved in extracurricular activities. And Oswego Schools has great extracurricular activities, and I do hope that continues, and I do hope funding will continue. That's an aside to what I was going to say. But those things are so important, and Oswego does a good job at that. My husband does continue to still work in the schools here, and I worked for 13 years in social service programs in Oswego. I was a family care provider for Central New York Developmental Services. I worked at Oswego County Department of Social Services in intake. I worked for City of Oswego HUD with Mary Van Ouse, and worked in intake for the HUD program there. I also was the Family Self-Sufficiency Coordinator for City of Oswego HUD, and I worked for the OCO Health Insurance Navigation Program. So I came to the last county legislative meeting in April, and I listened to an impassioned speaker who currently works for DSS. She was here to thank this body for approving a raise for her position so that she could stay in that position. She also stated that she loves her job and considers her clients as more than just clients. They are important and special people to her, and I know how that feels. That's how those jobs affect you. You can't work in a social service position without being affected by the people in the community who need those programs. I also know that those are good jobs in this community. You're not getting rich working for social services programs, but they're solid jobs, and you get good benefits, and you get a pension, and I think we can all agree on that. In fact, a member of this body responded to her comments saying that this body has always cared about the work she and the workers do at Department of Social Services. I hope so, and I thank you, and I agree. And how about that? I think we agreed on something. We are so very divided now, and it's getting frightening. And we're facing a lot of issues in our country, and we have to come together on something. So we found some common ground there. You guys approved that raise for Department of Social Services jobs. And Medicaid and other programs that benefit so many in our community are under attack right now. Working families, children, foster children, veterans, elderly and disabled people in our community will suffer if the proposed cuts to these programs are approved. And dedicated people like the person who spoke last month, who pour their lives into this community, working essential jobs that benefit so many people in our community, will be at risk of losing their jobs if the heavy cuts to these programs are approved. I was encouraged when that legislator got up and said that the body has always cared about those jobs. I agreed with him. We agree that those jobs are important, and I sure hope we can find some common ground on more issues, because we have to start somewhere. Because it's frightening, and I believe divided we will fail. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have Dr. Virginia Cohen?
Sir, the last time I was here, I could hardly reach that microphone. Are you going to put something, or am I going to have to wear stilts?
Could you put this picture up there?
Don't break the mic this time.
It doesn't go on the screen.
It doesn't go?
No.
What a shame. I hope you can hear me, because what I have to say is extremely important. Recently, in our county, can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you see me?
Yes.
All right. You're good. Recently in our county, there's been several incidents during which community members have been intimidated, terrorized, and detained without due process. The individuals pursuing these terrorist acts function under the auspices of ICE. They employ tactics to scare their victims, such as appearing at home at unexpected hours, wearing face masks, carrying firearms, Immigrants are their targets, often detained without due process. Mothers and children have been the targets of these barbaric individuals. While the current administration has said that criminals are the ones to be deported, innocent law-abiding families, such as the one in Sackett's Harbor, who had complied with immigration requirements, they were targeted. Children have suddenly been separated from their parents, causing distress. This is very important to me because I'm a mental health professional who specializes in kids and adolescents. Once there's trauma, it never goes away. It has implications for every aspect of your life. And I'll tell you about it in a little bit. Children have suddenly been separated from their parents, causing distress and lifelong trauma. And while the current administration imposes deportation of people who predominantly have brown skin, the current administration has opened its doors to white South Africans. Doctoral students, which professors like myself have taught to question and to search for truth, have been apprehended for voicing dissent. Where's the logic in these actions? There's none, except for bigotry, ignorance, and hatred. These incidents bring back memories of the terror my family and I experienced while living under the tyrannical and brutal Cuban communist regime. Our house was searched in the middle of the night. I was 8 years old. You know what? They woke me up at gunpoint. I'm 72 years old now, and I cannot take that out of my mind. We were awakened by armed militia. Does this sound familiar now? The current administration has begun a systematic reign of terror through intimidation, creating fear for the purpose of subjugation of the American public. I brought with me today this picture, and I hope that you can see it. This is my cousin who wanted to study medicine. He was killed by the government for being a dissenter. He was put against a wall and shot so many times that my uncle could not recognize the body. You wonder why I have passion? Do you think I can forget this? So, he was killed for expressing dissent. He was killed in front of a brutal mob. And after they killed him, the mob went after his sister, his mother, and his father. Simply because he questioned, because he disagreed with the totalitarian policies. Be aware, ladies and gentlemen, that in light of these barbaric acts of persecution, we, the American people, are at imminent and serious risk of losing our freedom. The systematic terrorizing of our neighbors and families must stop now. I have come here today to address this legislative body in order to demand that this cruel detainment without due process of innocent families and children be stopped. Now, I am here to demand protection for all innocent women and men and children in this county, regardless of ethnicity, color of skin, sexual orientation, and or political affiliation or lack of thereof. Intimidation and coercion are brutal and inhumane acts of a dictatorship. I'm almost finished, sir.
Thank you, but, and again,
I'm getting there. Let it be known that we the people who value freedom, decency, peace, and goodwill will not stop. We will not stop voicing our opposition to current unconstitutional acts. We will not stop. We will persist until every sacred man, woman, and child have been given justice, domestic tranquility, and general welfare in order to secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and to all posterity. Thank you.
Thank you. Now welcome forward Karen Foltz.
Thank you for another opportunity to speak. I do appreciate that folks are sticking around to hear the public's comments today. There are 2 points that I wanted to return to from earlier in the meeting and then another issue for me to raise. First, Chairman Weatherup, while the state may have delivered the bad news about the cuts to AmeriCorps, that is due entirely to a federal decision. It's a fully federal decision. To blame it on New York State would be misleading. Secondly, on this County Government Day, as you all have proclaimed, I would ask that you strive to make your governance as accessible as possible to your constituents. Please use your microphones each time you speak so that people can hear and understand you. Finally, I wanted to address the news of the day. The so-called Big Beautiful Budget Bill that is now being debated in Congress calls for $300 billion in cuts to the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. One of the mechanisms to accomplish these draconian cuts is to lower the age at which children are no longer considered dependents for the purposes of calculating a household's benefit. The current proposal calls for them to lower the age to 7. 7. That means that the program would presume that a second grader is kind of on their own for figuring out where their next meal is coming from. In this county, where more than 25% of our children receive SNAP, that's more than 6,000 kids as of 2023, that would be simply unconscionable. Now, the proposal for reconciling the cruelty of that policy with the reality of hungry kids is to shift the costs of SNAP to the local level. That's you. That is something that has never been done before. Up to this point, the federal government has fully funded SNAP, recognizing that having children who are healthy and safe and ready to learn is a social good that benefits all of us. How will Oswego County and this legislative body, which appears to be addicted to 0% budget increases, manage to fund that cost? Are we simply going to let our children go hungry? This bill would be an absolute disaster for Oswego County's families. Our Congresswoman has proudly proclaimed her support for it. She won't listen to us, but she may listen to you. You have her ear. She depends on the support of the local Republican committee that so many of you sit on, and that helps so many of you to secure your seats on this body. It is your responsibility to do what is right by your constituents. That means standing up for us. That means letting Claudia know that her support for this bill would harm your constituents, and that you wouldn't stand for that. Thank you.
Again, thank you all for coming. Our next legislative session is a night session, 7 p.m. on 5 o'clock. Thank you. Or June.